again in the Newstoter podcast slash space. I'm going live on YouTube as well too. Shout out to everybody that's going to be joining us on YouTube. We just went live. You guys, for all my YouTube listeners, make sure you guys click the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, share, comment, all that good stuff as well too. So shout out to all our people that's up. Like I said, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I know everybody's trying to work some pounds off because I'm sure everybody was eating pretty nice. So I'm definitely glad to have you guys up in here. We're in the holiday season. Hopefully y'all went out, did your shopping on your Black Friday, your Cyber Monday, and all of that good stuff as well too. Stimulating the economy with all that money. So hopefully everybody's doing okay. Shout out to all you guys. I'm gonna go ahead real quick, guys. I'm gonna touch up on this situation with Candace Owens. Ariza, I know you said you wanted to co-host tonight. Is there anything in particular in the actual subject line that you see that really interests you tonight in terms of the conversation?
Well, I haven't had a chance to see the HBCU Africa Act, but it's definitely signs of Pan-Africanism. And I haven't had a chance to read the documentation, but I'm going to do that here momentarily. I'm watching to see if there's any type of, if there's any language in there that would automatically be a red flag for Black Americans. But most of the people that I know that are Black Americans are against Pan-Africanism as of today. So it should be really interesting to see what the contents of this HBCU Africa Act legislation is.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll touch up on that real quick. That's up in the Jumbotron on the far right-hand side. Shout out to everybody up in there. Shout out to you, Carlos. I saw you with the fist pump. This is from the journal Black Higher Education, one of our curation partners, titled Bipartisan Group of U.S. Senators Introduced the HBCU Africa Partnerships Act. A bipartisan group of U.S. senators recently introduced the HBCU Africa Partnerships Act to encourage the growth of research partnerships between historically Black colleges and universities and federal agencies with the aim to develop, to create advanced development in sub-Saharan Africa. Let me go ahead. I see DJ coming up here, so let me go ahead and send him that co-host real quick. If enacted, the HBCU Africa Partnerships Act will expand partnerships and student exchange programs at HBCUs to build up the capacity and expertise of students, scholars, and experts from sub-Saharan Africa in key development areas including food systems, agriculture, nutrition, farming, democracy, and public health. Also authorize the State Department to establish a short-term exchange program for African students, scholars, and experts to spend a semester or academic year at an HBCU. Direct the State Department to develop and increase educational grant opportunities, agency partnerships, and outreach and communications at HBCUs. Malign actors like China continue to expand their influence across sub-Saharan Africa, jeopardizing America's national security interests and exploiting African communities, said Senator Tim Scott, a Republican from South Carolina. Our HBCUs are producing top-tier researchers and academics who are working to find solutions to global challenges, encouraging greater collaboration between HBCUs and African partners will strengthen our relationships and combat overseas influence while helping to fortify the foundations to enable free market economies to flourish. HBCUs are a vital asset to our higher education system in our country overall, added Senator Tim Kaine, Democrat from Virginia. These institutions and the talent they attract can play an important role in America's efforts to partner with other countries around the world. This legislation would help us build relationships between HBCUs and federal agencies like the State Department and the U.S. Agency for International Development that we need to help make happen and strengthen America's partnership in sub-Saharan Africa and beyond. Shout out to everybody coming up in the room. I see you guys coming up in the room. So Ariza, just from what I touched up on, you can see that you have bipartisanship. You have some senators also that's trying to go ahead and get this thing moving as well. We see they're talking about having some students coming over here from Africa. They talk about trying to create a short-term exchange program. They're trying to build them up in certain areas such as food systems, agriculture, nutrition, farming, democracy, public health, and all of this with the aid of the State Department and other federal agencies as well too. So what's your opinion? And you got basically Tim Tim Scott is saying that, hey, we need to go ahead and fortify Africa for our best interests. So, the Chinese don't come over there basically and start getting everything that they can get. So to me, that's what it's looking like, a strategic partnership in terms of trying to combat perhaps some of the Chinese investment that you have over there in sub-Saharan Africa. So that's just a gist of it. Is anything you want to add to that, Ariza, real quick?
Yeah, big time. It's a trap. It's a trap. It's not solid. They're using this with a broad scope. They're not specifically targeting areas of interest that would produce economic volatility for Africa. This is basically their way of showing up to the party because the Chinese are technically already there. People misunderstand the power of the one China policy. African countries won't be able to pay back the debt that they're owed to China, so China will forever have them on the hook. They do have a chance to succeed and flourish if this HBCU Africa Act is genuine, in a sense that it creates an opportunity to empower them to be in alignment with what's happening with any economic interest that would provide an opportunity for their citizens to thrive. I just don't see it. I think that they just want to show up because the Chinese are already there and are embarrassing the United States when it comes to foreign policy. And what they're trying to do is to make it look like they're doing something, but they don't have something specific. And remember, they still owe us reparations. So I don't care if they find a way to bridge the moon and the earth together through 6 atmospheres. If they don't show any intention to help Black Americans, foreign policy with our African cousins doesn't change anything. In fact, it makes them look bad because they're not going to offer as much. Remember, the Israelis received $300+ billion to improve their infrastructure. But when you look at the entire region, they're still living in hell. So what we're going to do is introduce the same problems to Africa because they have a prehistoric disposition in politics. Nope, not on my watch. So either they go all out with this HBCU Africa Act, or they're going to face the retribution of other foreign countries or entities that have the ability to put money into the African continent to basically rape and pillage it. I'll land my plane there.
All right. Thank you, Ariza. And that's just one of many topics that we want to cover tonight. Anybody else wants to say something before I go on to the next topic? And you find that very interesting that you actually have somebody like Tim Scott, and they're talking about bipartisan support for actually, trying to actually get this thing jump started with the HBCUs and the actual African partnership. And we already know that HBCUs, and I think there's something like $2 billion underfunded or whatever. Some of the universities, I'm not even sure the total number, but I know, I don't know if it was Tennessee State or one of those universities, they were like $1 billion or $2 almost underfunded. So we see the kind of money that they actually don't want to spend investing in the actual HBCUs as well too. So kind of interesting that they're looking to form a partnership with and they made sure it's sub-Saharan Africa. They're just going to say Africa, but just like you said, the entire wording behind it as well too. Normally you say, yeah, we're going to form this partnership with HBCUs in Africa and stuff. But the whole thing, they made key to say sub-Saharan Africa, in that entire article, sub-Saharan Africa. So, that sometimes you get some of these red flags initially. And the fact that they're mentioning, the partnership and the HBCU Partnership Act and this and that or whatever with Africa. But under that, they keep talking about sub-Saharan Africa. So I'm not exactly sure exactly what they're trying to do with that. But we would definitely have to keep our eyes on that. We go ahead and touch up on this article real quick. Shout out, I see Black majority states up in here. Rella, Trouble, I see you guys. Cordia, Nat, I see you guys all up in here. We touch up on this article from the New York Times. It's in the Jumbotron as well too. David Horowitz group drops Candace Owens over Israel criticism. This is from the New York Times. It says, the conservative group that helped launch the career of Candace Owens is cutting ties with political commentators, citing her ignorant, hateful remarks about Israel and Jews. The David Horowitz Freedom Center released a statement on Monday disavowing its years-long association with Owens, a former blogger who rose to become a prominent social media personality and podcaster The move comes amid a row between Owens and her fellow Daily Wire star Ben Shapiro, who had a similar falling out with her on the views of Israel 6 years ago. The David Horowitz Freedom Center invited the then little-known Candace Owens to its annual restoration weekend gathering. Conservative movers and shakers, the group said in a statement, which noted that Owens herself said it was a conference where everything started for me. Horowitz, 84, as a former left-wing radical who later in his life became a conservative writer, activist, and author. He founded the David Horowitz Freedom Center to safeguard the defense of free society whose moral, culture, and economic foundations are under attack by enemies, both secular and religious, at home and abroad. The nonprofit lashed out at Owens, accusing her of straying from the cause instead of focusing on meaningful activism in defense of American values that brought her to our attention. Candace Owens has become obsessed with her own fame, stirring up drama to compensate for a lack of real achievement, the group said. Owens' criticism of Israel shows that she tackles a subject she knows nothing about and that she never bothers to learn about, according to the Freedom Center. The group accused Owens of riding the backlash by playing victim to generate more money and fame. What a tragic misuse of talent, the statement read. The organization said Owens is either on the sidelines or actively supporting the crusade against the West. The group said it would seek to back activists who will do work rather than chase cliques, who will stand up for freedom and the sanctity of human life, who refuse to compromise with the evil and retreat into delusional isolation. Goodbye, Candace. We will continue to support those who truly strive to raise up the movement for liberty and life, not selfishly tear it apart, the statement read. The statement included a quote from Owens in which she credited the Freedom Center with helping promote her career. I started my political career on YouTube, just making funny satirical videos, and I got an email from David inviting me to this conference. And let me just tell you what a big deal it was for me. I had no connections whatsoever, Owens is quoted as saying. The Post has sought comments from Owens. Owens has been a vocal critic of Israel as well as the United States government support for the country's military operations in Gaza, which launched in response to October the 7th surprise assault by Hamas terrorists that killed at least 1,200 Israelis. No government anywhere has a right to commit genocide ever, Owens wrote on her X account earlier this month. She didn't mention Israel, though this was implied. There's no justification for genocide. I can't believe this even needs to be said or is even considered in the least bit controversial to state. Real quick, let me go ahead and touch upon the situation that's going on in Illinois as well, too. From Fox 32, it says Illinois is giving out $9,000 in rental assistance to migrants seeking housing. Also in the Jumbotron, curator Newstoter.com platform. You guys, for those on YouTube, all the actual articles tonight are in the actual description as well, too. It says we're learning more about the migrant situation in Chicago. Fox 32 spoke to Christina Zayas, the city's first deputy chief of staff, who provided insight on how the crisis is impacting the city and state financially. This week, 41 buses have arrived in Chicago, bringing the total number of migrants in shelters to 11,000, with 4,000 still sleeping on police station floors and staying at airports. Notably, 30% of migrants in Chicago are children, with the majority of them attending Chicago public schools. Currently, the state is funding temporary housing, including rented apartments and homes for migrants. The state is providing up to $9,000 in rental assistance over a 6-month period, which includes assistance with moving in and a starter kit to furnish the apartment. The rent lasts for 6 months, and ideally, people have started the legal process, secure legal work authorization, and be able to sustain that apartment. And so the cost, so I guess the payment towards the landlord is based on market rate, it's based on the configuration, how many rooms, where it's located, all those things. So it varies from place to place, said Zayas. The number of asylum seekers currently utilizing the rental assistance is unclear. The city has allocated $4 million to assist migrants in obtaining temporary housing, with the state contributing an additional $38 million. At present, 30 to 40 case management workers from Catholic charities are actively working to secure temporary housing for thousands of migrants, with efforts underway to hire more. So that's where we at. In Chicago, they just fist over dollar. They're just putting money out there. Fist over dollar. $9,000 they're going to help out and assist with housing. They don't know. They don't know how many. They don't actually know how many actual migrants are actually up there in those Chicago shelters as well too. They talking about 11,000 with 4,000 sleeping on police station floors. It could be It could be 20 some thousand migrants up there in Chicago. They have absolutely no idea whatsoever. Shout out, I see my girl Just Cakes up in here. Just Cakes, what's up? How you doing tonight, sweetie? Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, how you doing, honey?
Oh.
I'm sorry, just to give a correction because they lie so much. That $9,000 is in addition to the $15,000 of rental assistance. They get $15,000 for 6 months of rental assistance plus a $9,000 stipend, which includes money that can be used to furnish their apartment. So, yeah.
Wait, so you saying that they already got $15,000 and now they're getting an additional $9,000? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. They've been lying so much about the numbers, but they could apply for rental assistance, the same kind of rental assistance that they had when we had the pandemic. They could apply for rental assistance, and in addition to rental assistance, they are giving them $9,000, which the $9,000 includes money to furnish their apartments. And if you actually see the illegals, they are very well dressed, nice Columbia winter coats, nice Jordan shoes, and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's crazy. So you're saying that they talk about giving away all together $24,000. Now that the article didn't mention that, so I have to take your word for it. It did say $9,000 over 6 months, over a 6 month period. You wonder when that money, if they can't find jobs or what happens if they can't go ahead and actually keep up with the actual apartment? You know, if you're saying that we're gonna give you $9,000 or whatever, and this is going to help you out temporarily, whatever. What happens after the 6 months, expires, and that person's not able to maintain the actual apartment? Are they going to actually keep paying the apartment for them? I mean, does anybody know?
That we don't know. That's one thing they've been consistent about, is being very secretive and very sneaky about how they spend the money. Like we've asked for a breakdown of the money. And they give us some Mickey Mouse figures they put together. And the sad part about it is, even with the Mickey Mouse figures, it's still a hot mess. So, on top of that, earlier during this issue, they was giving them $500 on the little debit card. In addition to EBT, in addition to health care. And when you think about it, for Americans who go to work every day, some of your highest bills that you have is health care and your rent or your mortgage. These migrants, these illegals are here, and they got cars. Like this is how much tax money they have access to, that they could be here a few weeks and go buy a car. And here it is, I'm puttering around in my little thing because the interest rate's too high. Even though I got good credit, even though I go to work and make decent money, I'm puttering around because I'm waiting for better economic times for us. So, yeah.
That is something else where you got people that's, living check to check up there in Illinois, and they're not sure they're going to be able to pay their rent and this and that or whatever, but you're able to go ahead and shell out this type of money to people that just got here. And I understand that you don't want people living on the street, so I'm not advocating that, hey, put the people on the streets and this and that or whatever, but you realistically have to do something with the immigration issue you have here. You constantly seeing New York and Chicago and these other cities talking about they're being bombarded and they can't do anything, but yet they're constantly migrants and stuff are constantly getting dropped off in these cities. And the fact of the matter that you got 4,000, at a police station that they're sleeping on the floor at a police station, 4,000 of them. I find that, really, really, I find that they say for 4,000 sleeping on police station floors and staying at airports as well too. So you got people, you don't have enough shelters, and then you got people sleeping on the police station floors, staying. I mean, I don't understand how Chicago and New York, how they actually able to do this right here. You can see the kind of hole in DC as well too. Throw DC up in the mix as well too, because they're right along with it as well too. So all of these cities and all these places that are proud to be sanctuary states and cities and stuff, they're really feeling that pinch right about now. So this is just really, really crazy right here. Just Case, I see you got your hand up. Let me get to the Black Vanguard, and then I'll get back to you, Just Case. And anybody else that wants to speak, go ahead and raise your hand as always. Go ahead, Black Vanguard. You got it.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? How's everybody going?
What's up now?
Yeah, man, like this migrant crisis, man, this is getting out of hand. Like what happened to our brothers and sisters out there in LA and California, they trying to repeat that in every major single city, like what's going on in New York City and Chicago. They trying to implement that. They try to make Chicago and New York be a LA 2.0. And a lot of our brothers and sisters are saying, we're not going for that. You ain't going to turn New York City and Chicago to another LA. That's what they're trying to do. Then you got a lot of these Democratic shields come out the woodworks and saying that Joe Biden economy is doing good under Joe Biden and black people got to work. And everybody know that's a lie. That the economy has been doing worse under Joe Biden. This has been under Trump. And also, more black people lost their jobs, lost their businesses under Joe Biden because the high interest rates, the high inflation in California, and not California, but you have to if you making more than $600 in business, you got to report that to the IRS. So when Donald Trump was in there, I think it was like 50,000. If you make less than 50,000 in business, you have to report it. But now, if you make $600 business, you have to report that to the IRS too. So we have a lot of
they put it on hold just recently, bro, like within the last 48 hours. So it's back to the normal, I think 20, 30,000. And if you make that, you got to report it on a business. But the $600 thing, they still coming for it though. But go ahead.
Okay, thank you for reminding me though. But and also these illegals that come from Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico, El Salvador, even in Africa and the Caribbean, they get new credit, and then we work hard and we can't get the same type of credit, or we can't get the same type of resources to open our businesses. We gotta start from scratch to open our businesses though. So what they like saying, we hard working, we had nothing, they getting everything handed to them off of taxpayer dollars though. So that's a huge problem too. But I've been noticing that once you get the shields coming out of nowhere trying to shame black people, also on Twitter spaces, you got a lot of these Democratic shields on Twitter spaces. Like you got this one of them called Nikki Barnage. Are you familiar with that person? Hello?
Yeah, I had kind of froze up for a second. Am I familiar with who now? Nikki Barnes, you said?
Yeah, Nikki Barnes FL. Nikki Barnes FL.
Yeah, I know she's I know she's a politician, but I've never been in the spaces, but I know I heard of her.
She's a Democratic shield. She's one of the head people of the DNC out of Florida. When Ron DeSantis, Miami-Dade County, they flipped that county from Democrat to Republican. So Nikki Barnes got mad because they was able to put every major Democratic stronghold in Florida except for Orlando though. So Nikki Barnes was mad, trying to shame black people that the Republicans got control of the House, the Senate, and the governorship out there in Florida. So she a Democratic shield out there in Florida though, that one of the head DNC out in Florida though. But yeah, you have a lot of these Democratic shields come out of nowhere though, because they know we ain't falling for that Democratic con game no more. They said if you can't do specific tangibles for our people, you're not getting our vote no more, because them days is over though. And they Democrats in fear though too, because I was read a poll that Donald Trump was winning the poll by 2 points. So these Democrats are scared too, because they know that their game is over. They know, and also APAC is talking about going after the credential Black Caucus members, though. Sheila Jackson Lee, for y'all that live in Texas, especially in Houston, Sheila Jackson Lee loses real bad in the polls. They have to do a runoff out there in Texas, Sheila Jackson Lee. So they let you know that we not supporting these Democratic shields or these Democratic boule politicians no more. And also, what is HBUC Africa? What is that?
Yeah, it's just a potential partnership that they're trying to go ahead and see by having a partnership between it's up in the Jumbotron because I actually read that article, but they're trying to set up a partnership between Sub-Saharan Africa and the HBCUs.
Well, I don't think that's not going to work. That's not a good idea because you don't see no foundational Black Americans or freemen. You don't see no African organizations or even African countries giving free educational or giving free scholarships, education to Black Americans to go out there. When you go out there to their countries, if you want to go to university or school out there, you got to pay double. Because they look at you as a foreigner over there. So I would say that that's nothing but a con game, trying to reap the benefits so they get free education, free scholarships. Because you go to most of these African countries, Caribbean countries, they don't got free education though in their countries though. You got to pay for their free education. So they come out here, they can eat off of our tangibles, get off of our plate where our ancestors work hard for. And we say well, there's no more for that though. So they got to work hard for their stuff just like we did. If you can't go over here to the Caribbean, Africa and get free stuff like this, they do that. Like, if there's no African countries we can go to, no African or Caribbean country we can go to and get free or dual citizenship. Now, they like to say Ghana's right to a bowl, plus you got to have a lot of money on property, and then that's a con game too in itself because they be stealing Black Americans' homes and properties over in Ghana. And also, it was 2 Black women that's from Detroit. There was Black Panthers that went to Ghana. They went to the Ghana Supreme Court. They won that court case, though. Then they got deleted though by the tribes over in Ghana. So yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on. Same thing in the Dominican Republic. A whole bunch of Black Americans buying property over here in the Dominican Republic. A lot of Black folks being mysteriously came up winding up dead out there in the Dominican Republic for poisoning drinks and all that stuff. Same thing in Jamaica. So we not really welcome or want it nowhere else. The only thing they care about is our money. Because our money is real valuable because foundational Black Americans freemen, we spend the most money on tourism. It was an article that came out, Black Americans spend the most money traveling to the Caribbean than do Africa though. Like all their tourism money they get mostly come from Black Americans though. Especially places that come from like Jamaica and the Dominican Republic. Because you don't see white folks basically going to their countries and patronizing support like we do, but that's coming to an end though. That's why they trying to advertise, they think they're going to Kenya. Kenya have a new visa program. That's another con game too. They try to do the same thing that Ghana did, but it's not working.
No, right. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get back to Just Cakes, and then Ariza, I want to ask you, what do you feel about the situation with Candace Owens and also the migrant situation up there, with the housing and everything up there in Illinois as well? Go ahead, Just Cakes, and anybody else that wants to speak.
One more thing. Sorry about that. I'm gonna speak on Candace Owens issue though. Well, Candace Owens, she got her wake up call. See, Candace Owens, I believe she's Caribbean. I think she's from the Virgin Islands or St. Thomas, one of the places though. She got a wake up call too. Like, it was the NAACP, even though I don't agree with them though. But the NAACP helped her get a settlement though too, when she was being discriminated against though. So she turned her back on down the white supremacists. The white folks turned her back on. Now she don't got no backbone to go to. So she slowly trying to rail her way into the Black community, to Black society, but she's on her own. That's all I gotta say about that.
All right. Let me go ahead and get to Just Cakes. Just Cakes, go ahead and unmute your mic. And anybody else that wants to speak, go ahead and request a microphone and get your hand up, and we'll get you on the mic.
I appreciate it. I'm not trying to monopolize the space or nothing like that, but it's just
No, you fine.
It's low key like an outlet because everybody. It's becoming a faux pas to even talk about in public. Even though know we taxpaying citizens and stuff like that. God forbid to speak on the misappropriation that the government is doing with our money. But it's crazy that these illegals is fleeing to come here because of where is it, Venezuela? They economic refugees and stuff like that, which is illegal in itself. But here it is, they crashing our economy, and we just supposed to be okay with that. And that's really just the icing on the cake. Like, it's just really not okay. There was something else I wanted to say. I truly forget though. But I'm gonna drop down because I want to give other people the opportunity to speak. But I do appreciate you holding this space because it's frustrating as a taxpayer to watch your money get squandered and stuff like that. And here it is, inflation's kicking you in your back. The interest rates for the people who haven't bought a home yet, just the normal American stuff that we got to deal with without dealing with illegals that's anti-black with bad attitude. The other thing I remember, the state of Illinois just gave them some more money. So I think they're at $600 million right now. And literally, I want to say within 24 hours after they announced that they was giving them that extra money, mostly all the police stations was cleared out of the tents and everything else that you see on the news so often. All the tents was clear. I wonder where they sent those people to. Because they didn't send them back home. And I'm so sorry, my son is such a distraction.
That's fine, just cakes.
Nothing bad. One is money.
That's fine. Well, you can stay up here. I know because we don't have a whole bunch of hands up here right now, so everybody's kind of, it's Monday. It seems like everybody kind of sleepwalking, trying to wake up right now. But hopefully we'll get some of our people to come up here. That's why we added all these topics to the room tonight to try to go ahead and get the conversation flowing. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, sleepwalking that macaroni and cheese off, Naka. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Shout out to the Turkey Day squad in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Putting it down. You know what I mean? So if you're walking all them extra pounds, it's all good. You might still be, you know what I mean, from all that cornbread and stuff you can see. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to nephew though. He pissed off, yo, because you gotta understand. We've been breaking this information about where these migrants getting this money from. You know what I'm saying? Let's start there. So they're getting the money through gift cards. Let's not forget that, because when a gift card becomes unused, it goes back to the gift card company. So they don't have to trace it. The government don't have to have any trace of that. They just need to put the bread up. But it's us as the taxpayers, like Sister keeps saying, just case. This pisses me off as a taxpayer, but we not raising our voices and raising hell collectively to say, hey, look, we don't want no more money going to Ukraine. Hell with $55 billion going to Africa. We don't want to close the borders, to do stuff that we want y'all to do as voters to get y'all folks in office. So with that being said, they've been getting this bread. How the hell Jose just came over here with nothing yesterday, but he got a new GMC truck today? I know y'all asking yourselves these questions because you see it. They even got the old black folks asking me like, yo, nephew, hey, we've been trying to tell y'all. The other day, I'm having a back and forth with my great aunt. She's saying that these people, the others, tether knackers, they suffer too. Oh, hell no, auntie. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go in. So she was like, damn, you're right. Yeah, I know, yo. See, you forgot because y'all was too busy fighting for civil rights for us. But it had to include these other folks. That's why Jim Crow Joe was quick to say, well, yeah, I'll give you reparations as long as you include the Native Americans. You're going to have to work with these Latinos. They're about to be the new white folks. They taking over. So why is Joe Biden just giving these folks all this bread, resources, everything? But a lot of y'all in here voted for that cracking knacker. You know what I'm saying? I didn't vote for him because I already know 1994 crowd. I was getting hemmed up. Come here, knacker. You know what I'm saying? Get up against the wall. I'm coming from school, officer. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming from the candy store, yo. Real talk. No, you wasn't. You fit the description. No, I don't. You know what I'm saying? But hey, a lot of our folks, Jim Crow Joe, everybody friend. He everybody friend, yo. Real talk, you know what I mean? And a lot of our folks gonna vote for that knacker this year too. You know what I'm saying? We're in an election year, so make sure you do everything you gotta do to report this information to your family. Real talk.
Yeah, I got around my family a lot. My family said they ain't voting for him though.
They say that now. They say that now. Come Super Tuesday. They ain't gonna like that Trump name up there on the wall.
No, I've had a deep conversation with some of my family over Thanksgiving though. They said Joe Biden ain't no good choice too, because they said that some of my family members say they actually gonna vote for them, or they said they just gonna sit out altogether because they see what's going on in every major city in this country, especially when it comes to illegal immigrants though. They actually see it though, so a lot of my families actually woke up behind that. Actually voted a lot of my family members up. And you got one or two family members that's part of the civil rights generation that's saying about Democrat or Democrat no matter who. You already know that. So my grandparents and aunties still with that Democratic stuff though, but other than that though, some of my family members saying they ain't voting for Joe Biden. They gonna say gonna vote for the other side of the city out.
Real talk. Rizza, I know you. I was like I said, I wanted to ask you your opinion about the situation with the migrant situation up there with the housing up in Illinois, and also the situation with Candace Owens as well too.
All right. Good evening, everybody. This is Arinza Big Pen Jr. Okay, I'm gonna start out by saying that Candace Owens is a tool. $40 million a year, I believe her. No, I don't think it's that high. I know her net worth is $40 million, but I don't think she got it all like that in a 12-month period.
Wait, Candace Owens is worth $40 million.
Yes, Candace Owens is worth a lot of money. She got bread. But
her husband as well.
Yeah, most definitely. And where I'm going at with this is that she's a tool. And so is Van Jones. What they do is they give money to people they think that. You know what I'm saying? And so this is one of the reasons why I'm glad I am who I am.
You got an extra bottle over there for Van Jones?
Oh my God.
Yeah, we got plenty of bottles over there for us crybaby stuff.
Yeah, but they're in the same boat. They're coming from two different passageways, but they're part of the same problem. And that is their tools. And what they're going to try to do is use people like Candace Owens and Van Jones to try to make it so that they speak for us, and they don't. And now Candace has, I guess she got slapped. And now she's beginning to understand that these people don't ride with her. So now what she's going to do? Question is she going to act on what she knows now, or play dumb and kowtow to white supremacy? That's where she's at in this whole big scheme of things. So right now, I'm not thinking about Candace, because Candace ain't doing enough for us. No reparations, no vote. No tangibles, no vote. No black empowerment, no vote. They can't walk around us. They can give millions of dollars, billions with the B, to other groups of people when they know the concentration on creativity, multiculturalism, advancement lies within the black Americans who helped build this country. So they don't have an excuse. And if Candace is not fighting for us in that realm, she's just wasting time. And she just had her ass handed to her. Okay? So I'm not thinking about Candace. Candace is a joke to me right now. A straight up joke. Okay? Black Americans have been involved with the Republican Party prior to the Civil Rights Movement since the inception, and it's named in Exeter, New Hampshire. I know all about it, because my family was a part of that tradition. But the problem is that nobody wants to hold the line. When you have the kind of money that those guys do, their job is to hold the line for us, but they're not doing it because the people that gave them the money are the people who are against us. So I don't have any feelings for Candace right now, except too bad, so sad, pick a side. I'll land my plane there on that issue. On the others, I'll come back to it.
All right. So whenever you get a chance, like I say, touch up on that. When you get a chance, touch up on the actual situation up there in Chicago too. Your opinion on the migrant with the housing and everything else as well too. I see we got Original up here, so shout out to Original. What's up, DJ? You got it?
Yeah, you got fired off on your day off, Craig. You know what I'm saying? Candace. So at the end of the day, that's good for your ass. I don't wish career failure on no one. You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard out here for a pimp. You know what I'm saying? To obtain work nowadays. But This is all the bunched up karma that you've been talking smack about us Black Americans. Shout out to T.I. We don't like you because your ass always lying or whatever T.I. said. You always talking too much. Shut up. You feel what I'm saying? Told her that on one of them black forums they had. I think it was a Revolt Summit or something. I'm going to try to find the clip, but
yeah, T.I. went in on, I believe.
Yeah, he went in. You know what I'm saying? I watched that when it was live, though. You know what I'm saying? When they aired it live. You know what I mean? So to see that in real time, trust me, I was going crazy. You know what I mean? You would have thought he was at a Tip concert or something. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. So, hey, hey, this is what you get, Candace. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear no pull yourself up out of bootstraps now because you on unemployment, Craig. You feel what I'm saying? Get on the couch with the rest of the unemployed naggers. You know what I mean? Shout out to the gig workers too. And just to add that in, what the Vanguard said about the $600, that's over with for now. But they still gonna try their hand at getting that money. So what we have to understand, like Just Cake said, I'm sick of y'all taxing my money this particular way. You know what I mean? Everyone should be up at arms about that. Here's the reason why. So say for instance you bought something like a car 20 years ago, brand new, right? Paid it off, did what you had to do with the car. You're ready to sell it, you got a new one, whatever it is. You know what I mean? You're getting rid of the car. You sell it for $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't worth nothing now. You ain't want to put the money into it to fix it up to try to get market value for it. So you're gonna have to pay taxes on that $1,000. You see what I'm saying? Well, hold up a minute. Didn't you pay tax, gratuity, luxury tax on the car when you bought it 20 years ago? And it's being that I own it and I'm turning around and selling it at like a flea market or Facebook Marketplace or eBay, which I will have to turn around and pay them to as well. The actual third party hoster, offer up and Macari and all this other stuff. So they get 10% from the door. You feel what I'm saying? You got to pay the tax on that too as well. You feel what I'm saying? That's where they tax you at. So they're going to get you regardless, fam. This is why I be trying to tell y'all, you got to start a business right now. Jobs is over with, yo. It's over. You know what I mean? Sometimes I thank God why I took the position I did and just went into business after getting fired from a job. See, it took that and all the hell that you're going through at work already. Remember, fam, I understand you got to survive, but you can always find another crappy job. You feel what I'm saying? You can always find another one. But it's getting to the point it ain't feasible for our people to actually find work like that anymore. We got too much skill and talent anyway to be working for these people at this point. We got too much skill and talent, fam. You know what I mean? So why is you paying that extra tax on something that you purchased already? So how does the IRS know what it is you sold? Yeah, there's records of that, but they not checking for that. They just want their cut. Hello? Nah, you can't get that. You know what I'm saying? This is why, you got things, lobbying exists. So now you got these jokers from like PayPal and all these other corporations too, that take money from like Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. You feel what I'm saying? They will lose business, yo. All these other companies. So it is what it is. Go ahead,
No, I was gonna say real quick, the thing with the migrant thing, and I know Just Cake said I'm not sure if you live up in Illinois, you live up in that area, but from what she was saying that, we the $9,000 we know about that, but she was saying that they had gotten 15,000 before. Like I said in the article, it doesn't say that, but $9,000 to be given to help you out with your housing situation, whatever. And I know everything with the prices, everything, and I can imagine how expensive the actual the rent's got to be up there in Chicago and everything else as well too. But still, I mean, that's still a pretty good amount of money right there. If you're talking about over 6 months, you're talking about $1,500 a month. So yeah, in Chicago, I'm sure that won't pay all your rent, but it'll pay a significant portion of it. And my thing right here is, though, if you're a migrant and you have no job, the $1,500 has to be covering the whole rent. If they just got here and you have no job, the $1,500 has to be covering all of the actual rent as well too. So my thing is, what's going to happen if they can't find a job? What's going to happen after the 6 months goes by and they don't have a way of paying that actual rent? What happens then? Do they go ahead and they go back in the coffers and dig out some more money and say, you know what, we're going to give them. Hold on real quick. I don't know who talking, but mute your mic. do you go? Are they gonna go ahead and say, you know what, we're gonna give y'all an additional $9,000-$10,000 because hey, you're still looking for a job on top of all the other people in Chicago or Illinois, whatever part of Illinois it is, whatever part of the state, you got all these other people that's also looking for employment as well too. So how does this work out? How does this how do they foot this bill here? Where are they getting this money from right here? Because that's a lot of money, and we can see you're talking about thousands of dollars they're kicking out. If you got 11,000 people that's in a shelter, and you got people that's at the police station and the airport and everything else like that, you got 11,000 that's supposed to be in the shelter, 4,000 on sleeping on the police station floors and in the airports. How is where are they going to get this money from? Because you always hear about these cities and townships and stuff and financial distress. Where exactly are they getting this money from? Black Vanguard, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, I just put something in the Jumbotron that the city of Chicago just proved we gave the migrants, the illegal immigrants, an extra $150 million.
Yeah, matter of fact, and that was from that was the actual governor, J.B. Pritzker. He actually went ahead and coughed that money up himself too. So yeah, they did. JB did go ahead and $150 million, and that's what I'm saying. They've been people, say what you want to about Lori Lightfoot, but it's the entire state that's just been going up, just fist over dollars, just bringing money and just tossing it on the immigration problem, and it still hadn't made a dent whatsoever because as soon as you go ahead and you take care of one group, then you got a boatload more coming up here. So I mean, you can't continue to just go ahead and just kick this money out. And like I say, what about the actual regular citizens up in the actual city who financially, that's not doing that hot themselves either? So I don't know where Illinois, Chicago, I don't know what they're doing up there in terms of the actual the finances. I don't know where they get this money from. It seemed like they have an endless supply of cash. They're just able to go ahead and do whatever they want to. 30% of those illegal kids, or those migrant children, also in the public Chicago, in the Illinois public schools as well too. So, factor in the added expense with education as well too, and you got a serious issue right here on your hands.
I'm sorry, just real quick. The state of Illinois contributed $150 million, and also the city of Chicago contributed, I believe, around that number too. So altogether, I believe it's $300 million that they set aside for the illegal immigrants.
Okay, yeah. So it's just gonna get worse and worse. There's no way you can support that. And I don't know, Chicago. So you're saying that not only did the state, but the actual city also kicked out $100 and some odd million as well too. I guess that's what.
Yes, they did. I was actually just looking up the article to share it in the Jumbotron as far as the 15,000 standalone specifically for rental assistance up to 6 months. And that's not the same as the $9,000 that they getting to help them get on their feet.
Okay. I see we got Original up here. Original, I don't know if you want to say something on this topic. I don't know how long you've been in the space, but we've been talking about Candace Owens, pretty much getting put in her place by her handlers. We're also talking about this partnership act that you got this group of bipartisan senators, and if you got Tim Scott on it, and he's one of the main ones championing it, you kind of like, oh, okay, about this actual partnership with HBCUs in sub-Saharan Africa. And we also, of course, we're talking about the situation here now about the actual housing problem dilemma you have up there in Illinois, Chicago, about the actual migrants and the amount of money that they've been given to actually find suitable housing as well too. I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I wish somebody would give me $1,500 for the next 6 months to put down on my mortgage. Go ahead. If you can do that for the immigrants, you can definitely do that for the American citizens as well too. So if you can go ahead and kick it out like that, go ahead and write me a check. give me $9,000 and tell me, hey, all you gotta do is spend this $9,000 on your mortgage for the next 6 months, and I'll damn sure do it. Original, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead, unmute your mic.
Yeah, greetings everyone. Peace, Black Power, and lineage-based reparations for us, without any other group being included, because they didn't share this pain and suffering with us, and they should not benefit from our pain and suffering.
42.
Yeah, big swole, 42. But Newstoter, I went to the grocery store Saturday night. I was making some stuff, and I needed an ingredient, and so the line in the self-checkout was kind of, it wasn't that long, but they had, most of the self-checkout shut down. And of course, I'm going to complain about it. But this one brother that was in front of me, he and I started talking. But I don't think the Democrats understand. There's a lot of black folks, they are really just pissed off. Because this brother was saying that he's either not voting, or he said that he'll vote for Donald Trump. And I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him because the Democrats have shown us who they are. They have shown, all they have done with us is exploited our pain and suffering for 60 years, and they used our pain and suffering to provide for and protect all demographics except for us. And now they're about to get a rude awakening, because I'm not voting. I don't care what Donald Trump does. It can't be any worse than what Jim Crow Joe is doing to us. So I don't think people understand. Candace Owens, I don't give a damn what happened to her. She is on her own. She has done nothing. Oh yeah, DJ, that was that Revolt Summit, the one that was here in Atlanta that year when T.I. had to call her out, because I think the host of that event was trying to get T.I. to kind of calm down and not just go after her. I mean, that's like sometimes people will show stuff whereby they say, well, you can agree with her on this. I said, no, I'm not agreeing with her on anything. I don't care if we have the same perspective. I'm not agreeing with her because she has already shown me that she don't like black folks. And she been trashed. As long as she has been trashing us, and I'm going to stand in solidarity with her, hell no. I'm not doing crap for her. She is on her own. I don't care what the white folks do to her. If somebody, just did the worst to her, and if I was standing on the street and saw it go down, I didn't see anything. That's just how much I just don't care about her. You're not going to trash us and then expect us to turn around and assist you. But, and this whole thing with the HBCUs in Africa, see, this is really weird that Tim Scott,
That's what I said too. I like Tim Scott of all people championing this.
Right. Well, he could not. He has also said that he wasn't for black folks getting reparations or something like that. And then when he was against getting rid of the qualified immunity for with the George Floyd Policing Act. See, these people, they are never for it, and it doesn't matter which party. That's why I'm not voting for anyone. If you're not talking lineage-based reparations for the U.S. descendants of enslaved people, I'm not voting for you. And I don't care what you say. There is nothing that you can do because it has got. Let me share this with you. Somebody had posted a video, and it was an elder black woman. I think she was from Mississippi or somewhere. And she was out in this cotton fields talking about how she used to pick cotton and how they was paid and this, that, and whatever. And she was like, Lord, this and Lord. I put in a response, this doesn't scare me. And I made sure I tagged in Jim Crow Joe, the Congressional Black Caucus, and somebody else. I said, look, if you ain't talking reparations, I'm not voting. This doesn't scare me. What you're doing to us doesn't scare me, but I'm not going to vote for that. It is insane because let's not forget. See, Cornell Belcher, one of their part of their goon squad, he said, I think it was in 22, 22, he said that the Democrats are going to have to scare the hell out of black folks to get them to the polls. Well, go ahead and try it and see what happens. And I think they see now that a lot of black folks, they're not coming out to support these people. They can sit up there and say whatever they want to because they see now that they have pissed off black folks. And then you got the I was on the phone with someone this evening, and even this guy here, Harper, he was saying that that AIPAC had offered to run against what's that Talib, the Palestinian lady up there in Detroit.
Yeah, I can't think of the name, but Talib. I forgot the whole name.
Rashida Talib.
Rashida Talib. Yeah.
Yeah, he said that they had offered him money to run against her, and so
Boy, no Trump change.
Oh yeah, it was a lot. It was like in the million. It was at least $1 million or more.
Word.
And so that's how these people are operating because see, they see now that we don't rock with them no more. The small hats have only exploited us. We have only had a parasitic relationship with those people. They've never been our friend. And now that we're calling them out, they're all upset because they don't have anyone to come to us and say, hey, can y'all quiet this down a little bit and not be so boisterous with your response? No, we're going to be as boisterous as we want to be. We don't care. Because, hey, it's like this. If we got to suffer, so will these others. They're going to suffer too. And as far as giving these illegal aliens $9,000, I mean, this is a slap in the face to Black America. When you look at how we have supported the Democratic Party over the years, and you're going to tell us every time something come up for us, they always want to throw in this ambiguous language, trying to show, stating that it has to be for everybody. And see, I remember when they started pushing that garbage, back in the 70s, saying that, and what's sad about it is that the dumb and below stupid black candidates and elected officials went along with it, saying that we have to get whatever we get, it has to be done under minority so that we can try to get something. Because y'all remember that fat blob Roland Martin was trying to tell black folks, see, right here where they get, right here where they gave us right here, see right here where it said minority, and they believe this garbage. And so now that they see that we have awakened, and there are others that are in the process of awakening, and we're not buying that any longer, and they have nothing that they can use to assist them in getting us to go along with these lies any longer. Because we're just not doing it anymore. And so, but yeah, that's where we are. And if you look at it the same thing is happening on the local, the state, and federal level, but it's only happening to Black Americans, the real Black Americans. Everybody else can go and present their position paper and get what they need. But when it comes to us, even the elected officials are not even standing up for us. So it's like, well, hell, if you're not going to stand up for them, why the hell am I going to vote for you? That doesn't make any sense. So I just want to say, people stand your ground. And if these people come forward, first thing you ask them, well, what is your stance on reparations for Black people? Say lineage-based reparations to make. Don't just say it and say lineage-based to make sure that we're the ones who can benefit from this. I mean, this is beyond belief at this point. And I'm going to land with that.
All right. Thank you. Original as always. We got FBA Goddess up in the space. And let me give this sister a shout out real quick. Because I believe FBA Goddess, and I don't remember exactly what position, but she's getting ready to run for local politics in her area, in the North Carolina area. So shout out to that sister. She's taking the bull by the horns and she's taking the initiative. So we definitely got to support sis as always. And definitely when you get time to go ahead and you get your campaign and everything, we'll go ahead and we'll have a space behind that FBA Goddess and try to get that support out there for you as much as possible. So shout out to you, sister. Big ups to you. Glad to see you doing it. And politics, and I know everybody say we need to get more people to run. That's true. Also, remember that politics ain't for everybody, guys. You know, some people are better suited for it. You know, if you got 3-4 felonies, don't go and run for politics, please. Let somebody else with the clean record go ahead and do it. But you can back that person. You can still support them. Stay in the low, stay in the background or whatever. Do whatever you can and still support financially and get out there, boots on the ground or whatever. But hey, it ain't for everybody. I'm going to just say that right there. If you got some bodies around here and some trunks, you know, maybe that's not for you. Now, maybe you can go ahead and financially support that or whatever. Handshake here, handshake there. You keep on going. You know what I'm saying? You stroll past that person or whatever, put some signs up. You do that kind of work there, but it ain't for everybody. So let me give a shout out real quick too to 400 shout out to you. Thank you for the contribution on Cash App. Definitely appreciate that. For anybody else that wants to support, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Once again, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. You guys also can support on Twitter as well too. You can join the membership. It's a $3 membership a month if you want to support Newstoter here on Twitter. Just $3 a month. For those that don't have Cash App, we have the damn Venmo and PayPal up in the jumbotron. For all my people that's on YouTube, the Cash App is on the screen and the actual PayPal and Venmo is up in the description. You guys also, for those on YouTube, if you want to support by doing the the super chat, you can do that super chat, or you can do the sticky, the sticker or whatever. Any amount is always greatly appreciated for the platform as well too. I want to get real quick to FBA Goddess. Let me get this sister in because I want to hear what she's got to say. How you doing tonight, FBA Goddess? And I'm gonna get back to Black and Just Cakes.
Hey, excuse me. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, sister?
Hey, now everybody know Candace Owens with her. When it comes to them people them mammies, they gonna break their toys. I don't even understand why they don't know that by now. I mean, it's well known. We all know that. So I mean, it is what it is. She got her little money. I mean, hopefully she stashed the money up and so that she can fall back on it. Because I mean, hey, be done with her. So I mean, that's what you get. And we not dealing with her like that. She already know that shit. She spoke negative about us for much too long. So, you know, she on her own. I don't give a damn about her. But now, what is it? $9,000 worth of housing. That ain't all that they're doing. Those people from Venezuela, they let people that were in prison. I don't know if y'all knew this. They let people that are in prison out as long as they left the country, and they were able to come and get out of prison. No matter what they did, they let them out to come to the United States. So we have those people here too. Not sure if y'all are aware of that. But yes, I am running for city council in the city of Raleigh. And this is, of course, you know, my first try at politics. But hey, everybody can do this. Everybody can do this, you know, like they said, as long as you don't have no record. I don't have a record. So at all, period, never have. So I don't have that problem. They don't have to worry about trying to find no dirt on me and all that stupid stuff that they do because I don't have any. So good luck finding it. I really believe that I would do good in the city of Raleigh. I've already been talking on city council for a while now, bringing our issues to the city of Raleigh. So instead of me just sitting there speaking to them all the time at the podium, I want to sit down at that table and be able to speak and also to be able to make a difference in the city. So if you hit on my picture, you see it says Renew Raleigh, and it has a retro look to it. And the reason why is because, you know, I want to go back to those old days when Black people mattered in the city of Raleigh. I'm tired of that fact that we are no longer, you know, counted and when it counts as far as housing, when it counts as far as anything in the city, we are left behind. So I want to be able to be there, and I don't take biscuits, so they won't be shoveling none towards me. I don't care what they say. I'm not taking it, and I'm not going to roll over for no one. So, but thank you so much for allowing me to say that.
All right. Thank you, FBA Goddess. And like I say, whenever you get everything set up or whatever and you want to do a political space, just DM me, hit me up, let me know what's up. I know you got your podcast on YouTube as well too, so definitely a shout out to you on that. Make sure y'all follow her on YouTube as well. I don't know if you got your.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm sorry. I also do, as y'all know, I do my activism on the street and also on Twitter here. Where I find stories, and then once I do find stories, I also do go and contact these families in reference to the different stories. That's why I was able to do, as far as Emmett Till and Shaquilla. Also now the Reels family, which is, if everybody heard of the movie Silver Dollar Road. I did meet the family, so I went to 2 weeks ago. I went down, last week, not past weekend, the weekend before last. I went to meet that family. So also there's another family that a white woman helped her son clean up a hit and run. I'm working on a space for that as well. So I'm out here not only trying to work for, doing stuff in the city of Raleigh, but I'm doing stuff everywhere for us. Thank you.
Thank you. The sister, she stays on it. So shout out to her once again. And like I say, best of luck. And we definitely gonna stand behind you on that as well too. So shout out to Miss FBA Goddess. Let me go ahead and get to I'm not sure which one of y'all was it, the Black Vanguard or Just Cakes. Let me go ahead and get the Just Cakes, and then I get to you, Black Vanguard, and anybody else real quick. Because I see we got some people up in here. This ain't a huge space, but it's a decent number, y'all. So if any of y'all want to come up here and speak as well, definitely come on up here and speak. We'll get you up here. You ain't got to stay up here long. If you just want to say something about the actual space tonight or what's going on, the topics, feel free. I see my girl Rella. I know she might be busy. I see my girl Rerod. Aunt Lai, what's up? What's up? I see a bunch of ladies up in here. Did I see Trouble up here? I thought I saw Trouble. Maybe I didn't see Trouble, but it's a bunch of y'all up in here. For y'all that want to speak, anybody wants to speak, like I say, feel free to come on up here and we will get you in. Just Cakes, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Shout out to FBA Goddess. I think you can have a background in Illinois. I mean, most of our politicians, if they don't start with one, they definitely end with one. So just a little joke for people from Illinois.
Block.
What was it? We had 3 governors go to prison. So yeah, if you're a felon, don't let that deter you from entering into politics in Illinois. You'll be in good company.
Free Joe Patrick. That's the Kool-Aid point for you, Trump. Wayne too. No.
Okay. So original was he was definitely cooking. For everybody that's saying that's what's going on with New York and stuff like that, I just these are some real low politicians you got in Atlanta that's sitting there asking these people to come to their town. Atlanta is known for successful Black people. Why would you invite this crisis? If New York is struggling and their budget is 10 times more than yours, why would you invite these people? Something I looked into earlier as well is New Mexico is a sanctuary state. Texas is surrounded by sanctuary states. So as to why they working with the Democrats to ship these people all the way up here is very telling. They send them to majority Black cities and stuff like that. And if the people in Atlanta, if anybody up in here from Atlanta and those type of places that wasn't getting them at first, and now is advocating to get them, your politicians are doing you no service. As far as Joe Biden and his BS, Joe Biden hate Black people so much that he sat there and he said it. He wasn't secretive about how he felt.
Let's go.
Okay. When they asked Joe Biden about the 94 crime bill and the crime bill that he worked on before that, and all the problematic things that he said, and even down to reparations. The man had an old man fit. I thought he was going to stroke out. He was so angry when he was asked about reparations. He sat there and he said that this nation was built on immigrants, and I'm going to make sure that they have everything they need to be successful. That's what he said when asked about reparations for Native Black Americans. He just skipped right over. So he said it, he told you, and then he showed you that all the money he pouring into these people. So, and with these people, these are some, like, we got ghettos in the United States of America. I could only imagine where they come from, because and I'm not being shady or nothing like that, but the smell and some of their mannerisms and just the way they go about stuff, you could tell that, they make people from Cabrini Greens look like they came from Martha's Vineyard. Okay, but nevertheless, I'm trying not to get distracted. Nevertheless, I'm just tired about Black politicians selling us out. That's why I appreciate people like FBA Goddess, Marcel Dixon, and all the other real ones that's going into politics. I make sure to dump your information into the Jumbotron, because I definitely support, even if I can't support you by giving you my vote, there is other ways, because the only people we got is ourselves. We nobody else is going to save us. The Democrats, the Republicans, nobody else is going to save us but us. And the last thing I just want to touch on is we be arguing and fighting a lot with each other because we don't agree, right? And some people do need to be cussed out, okay? Honestly, they do. But
let's go.
What was that?
Yeah, some people are great. Some people need to get cussed out, but you don't cuss them.
No. I know what he got going on. I wouldn't disrespect this platform like that. But something that came to me earlier was
But nah, you could cuss them out in a good way. You know what I mean? You ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't nothing. You know what I mean?
No, if I'm gonna go there, I'm going all the way, just all the way in the gutter. Okay, you gonna ask if I ever knew God? I'm gonna go at you. Okay, that way. But we do gotta try to find some type of common ground, or try to get these people to understand the dire situation we in. Dr. Clyde Anderson been said it. He been preaching on it. He told us, and now they showing us what time it is. They don't give a damn about our vote. They ain't made no strides to change it. They ain't made no strides to turn it around. Even they shields know that they ain't got a leg to stand on. I think they just disconnected from us as a whole. When they sat there and put all them cases on Mayor Adams, the Hispanic lady started getting ready to put her head in the ring to run for mayor. That's what time it is. When they run down these majority black cities and overrun them with the Hispanics, that's why a lot of them don't disagree with what's going on, because they see what time it is. The U.S. never stopped waging war on us. And now here it is, the Hispanics and the other tethers are too willing to be used. That's a numbers game for them. They gonna win, So we got to get our people on board to try to save ourselves, because that's the only way. And I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you.
No problem. Real quick, let me give a shout out. I don't know if I gave a shout out to you, Stephanie, but if not, let me give a shout out to you for your contribution on Cash App. Let me give a shout out also to my girl Aunt Lai as well too. Real quick, I see hold on, let me see real quick if he's still up in I see my boy Double A is up in the space, DJ. Hey, he'll come up here when he want to. But, hey, I know everybody though, I know everybody be getting in on your boy Double A, but I don't care. He be funny to me. I don't care. Like sometimes, like I said, you do need to change a pace up in here. He come up here, he gonna say, and he stand on what he say as well too. So it'd be funny to me. I don't care. Like, but hopefully, Double A, you get a chance. Come on up here, man, because I know you go. I know when you come up here, like the space always, it becomes more interesting. So if you get a chance, man, come on up here. I know you probably chilling for right now. Yeah, you see up in the Jumbotron, the title HBCU Africa Act. So yeah, that's oh, my man came up here too. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, let me get to Black Vanguard. Let me get to the new speakers, and let me get to Stephanie and my man Trenton as well, and I get to you. Stephanie, what's up, sweetie? How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on? Shout out to New York. Huh?
New York, NACA, New York.
Oh God. I just read an article today, and it just lets me know how diabolical these people are. It lets me know how diabolical this system really is. Now, I just read today that they want to give any homeowner up to $364,000 to house someone in their home. Now, mind you, we have over 100,000 homeless people, and that's not even including the undocumented people that's in New York City. But how come you guys didn't do this before? Maybe this could have kind of maintained the homeless crisis here. But yet, as soon as a group of people that broke the law to get here, get into the country, now you decide you want to sit up here and pay people all this money to have these people in your home. You don't even know who you're letting in your house. And I'm sorry, but it's going to be a lot of stories where there's going to be a lot of serious incidences that can include death. You know, because you don't know who you're letting in your home. You got Guatemala, you got Venezuela. They have two of the highest femicide cases. Okay?
And they don't like each other either, so let's go.
And they don't get along. So I went shopping. I seen I thought it was a rat in the frozen food aisle. I'm like, oh my God. And it's a product of Ecuador. I'm like, what the hell is this? So, you know, it's like a guinea pig or something. I don't know what that thing was.
Capybara.
But no. You know, and also read the Declaration of Migration, that act that I put in the in your comment section. That should give you an idea of how much money that we're actually wasting, besides 2 wars that we're behind, and possibly a third one, because we're firing at some ships that's out at sea that they believe is firing on the United States. So, and they believe that 2 Chinese boats was out there not far from where the U.S. boats were. So, look forward to a third one. And they just allowed Israel to have access to all of our stockpiles of weapons and stuff. So we got a whole big thing going on. As far as this Candace Owens thing, she deserves everything she gets. I don't feel sorry for her. She's not going to pander to the Black community, because she knows where her stance is with the Black community. She's going to be kissing the boots, and she's going to be kissing the ring. And she's going to start doing things to put the Black community down even more, because that's what a lot of them do at our expense. So this is why a lot of times we have to just stop supporting these people, just stop watching them and blacken them out. She doesn't deserve to be on any Black platforms. She don't need to speak, because she does not represent the Black community as a whole. So I don't feel sorry for her. No love lost. As far as I'm concerned, if I see her, I will laugh right in her face, you know. And that's basically it. Thank you.
Thank you, sister. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to my boy Trenton, and I'm gonna get to you, Black Vanguard. Go ahead, Trenton. How you doing tonight? What's going on, bro? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. You kind of low. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. If people want to know how the Democrats, what they are, the Black folks, just look at Chicago, man. You know, Brandon Johnson, man. I think he went down. Him and the Denver mayor, they went down to D.C. I think a couple weeks ago, asked for $5 billion for illegal immigrants. And this dude got a nerve. I just saw, I think, 2 days ago, that he want to set up a commission and for $500,000 to look at reparation for people in Chicago. And I saw white folks, they talking about if he do that, they gonna file a lawsuit. And I'm looking like he just spun $300-something million in a year, and he talking about setting up a panel, and white folks started going crazy over a panel. So this next election coming up, man, I'm sitting it out. If they're not talking reparations, I'm not voting for them. I'm not trying to hear well, you got to vote first. I'm not hearing none of that. All this talk with these, the Roland Martins and the Amanda Seals, they talking about we don't understand how politics goes and this and that. No, we see how politics go. You're a legal immigrant. You come over here, you get put in the front line, man. It's giving to people $9,000, $15,000, and then come to black folks and say, well, you got to go vote, and we don't have the House, the Senate, and this FDA, and no. If you're not talking reparation, you can't get me to vote for voting rights or abortion or whatever they talk, insulin. I'm not voting for that. If you're not talking reparation after all this, at these past 7 years from Trump to now, man, all this money being passed out, and they come telling the black folks we need to vote for voting rights. No. So if they're not talking reparation for 2024, I'm sitting home. I'm not voting for either one. Thanks, brother.
No problem. Appreciate you as always. Good to hear from you. I know you be hanging out mostly on YouTube, but glad to have you back up in the space as well. Let me give a shout out to Sister Goddess Michelle. Thank you for your contribution on Cash App. I'm going to get to the Black Vanguard. Double A, I know you ain't got your hand up, but if you want to speak, go ahead and raise your hand up. I'll get to you after that as well, too. Go ahead, Black Vanguard.
Yeah, NBA guys, if it's something we can support, we definitely support you, though, because we definitely need more candidates on the grassroots like Marcel. We tired of these black Democrat shills and these Republicans that don't do nothing for our community, so we definitely need more grassroots candidates that's for the community. That's not paid out by the corporations or the banks, so it's very well much needed. So, yeah, Candace Owens, though, I don't feel no sorry for her. Plus, Candace Owens, she's a tether too as well. So, yeah, that makes it even worse. Plus, the Tim Scott situation, that's very odd. I heard somebody say Tim Scott doing that HBCU after that. That's very odd because Tim Scott, everybody know he a coon, though. So, yeah, I believe exactly when he said America's not a racist country. I believe that's him. Well, I think is that him? You said America's not a racist country. Is that the one, Tim Scott?
Yeah, I believe he said that before too. I believe so.
But that's a red flag, though. Tim Scott is trying to work with Africa to do HBCU schools, but a lot of people don't understand that a lot of these tethers run like HBCU schools. And also, a lot of Black American freemen, they don't get none of that grants that come from HBCU schools. Like giving to a lot of the tethers, that Caribbeans and Africans, people that look like us, though. Like I said earlier in the space, we can't go to none of these Caribbean, African countries get free scholarships and free grants. If we go over there and decide to go to a university over there, we got to pay double because we are foreign over there, because in most of these Caribbean, African countries, they look at us as a foreigner over there. So, and we the only group of people on the face of the planet that view everybody that got the same skin color as us all black. Like people in the Caribbean and Africa, they don't view everybody as all black, all the same. The Ghanaians don't view the Nigerians as the same. The Nigerians don't view the Ghanaians the same. The Ethiopians don't view the Somalians the same. Plus, they got a lot of tribalism that come from Ghana and Nigeria. The Asante tribe don't mess with the Fante tribe. The Igbos and Yorubas don't mess with each other. The Fulanis and the Hassas don't mess with each other over here. The South Africans don't mess with none of them Africans over here. So it's tribalism left and right over here in Africa and the Caribbean. The Bahamians don't mess with the Haitians or Jamaicans over here in the Bahamas. The Bermudans and the Bahamians don't mess with each other. The Trinidadians and the Barbadians don't like each other. So they not on cold amongst themselves. See, we never had to deal with tribalism in America because all of us in America view everybody black all the same. Because we the most on-cold people on the face of the planet. But other than that, though, but the migrant crisis, that is getting out of hand, though. Like, you're going to have a lot of these Democratic shields start hopping on people's faces and trying to infiltrate our spaces, infiltrate social media platforms in the real life, try to say the Democrat Party. They always start to do that right now. They started to infiltrate us like Big Stepper and a lot of these Democratic shields. They started to infiltrate, but they know most of us is on code, so we know we ain't going for that. That's all I got to say. I'm going to drop down to the speaker so more other people can come up.
All right, appreciate that. We got my man up here, Double A. It's been a little minute since he was in there what last week or so, but I know you come through or whatever, so I'm glad to have you up in here. How do you pronounce your name? Because I don't want to say it the wrong way. Let me see if he's you there, AA? Let me give him a second. AA, are you there? Apaya, is that how you say it? Apaya?
That's what I hear him. They call him all the time. He should be there. I'm seeing him.
Yeah, I see him. I just don't. I don't know if he may be stuck in the matrix or. Okay, he's disconnecting. So let me give him a second and see if he can. Maybe he got stuck up in the matrix. We'll give him a second. Rizzo, while we waiting on him, go ahead and you go ahead because I know you had your hand up. Go ahead and you go ahead and speak. Let me give a shout out to Trenton as well too. Trenton, thank you for your contribution on Cash App. But go ahead, Rizzo.
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know that that's not a typo on the Jumbotron. If you look about 5 clicks down from the left side, I have a comment in there that says, "Look at the website. I didn't make this up." The documentation from the Senate is on a server called Coons, COONS. That is not a typo. It's coons.senate.gov. Download HBCU. It's a document that will allow you to see what's going on with the handout to Africa. But I just wanted to let you guys know I capitalized the wording to let you know that the word coons that's in there is not a typo. That is what they named that system that carries that document. That's how much they care about us. They could have chose any other wording or acronym for that system, but they chose COONS, and that is not a typo. Back to you, Newstoter.
All right. Thank you. And he said that's up in the Jumbotron.
Yeah, if you count 5 clicks from the left, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 5th.
I don't know what happened to Rizzo. Your sound went out. You were speaking and then it just went out on you.
We're trying to say Coons dot. Hold up a minute. Let me come back over there. Yeah, because I just downloaded it. Hold up a minute. When you see his name, it says, hold up a minute, I'll go back. Where'd you put it at? See someone showing me. I want to repeat it.
I know Apaya, he had just came up here, but I don't see him now.
He's trying to come back. You see him in the request.
I don't see him. I don't see him in the request. Let me.
Hey, if you got an Android phone, check for updates in the Google store, right? For Twitter and the web system view is the little circle blue with the dot in the middle. It's just updated today on my phone. I got the latest Android, so that you see that stuff.
I didn't have any updates today myself though, but it'll probably come tomorrow then.
Right.
Hold on 1 second.
I'm trying to come up here. You might have to restart your phone, bro.
The space.
But real quick, while we doing that too, make sure y'all sign up for Newstoter.com, NEWSTOTER, Newstoter.com. Make sure y'all come over to the Screw Tube too, aka the YouTube for that know.
and sign up there and make sure y'all support the platform over there. Follow Newstoter on social too. SOXCIL.com. There you go. Get the cash in.
I see he's up here now. So, Apaya, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
How do you say your name? Is it Apaya? How do you pronounce it?
It's Apia, but
Apia. So I'll just say double A then. Hey, but I mean, I hope you had a pretty good Thanksgiving. I don't know if you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, man. It's been a
No, I don't.
Okay, no issues, no harm, no foul. It is what it is. It's an American holiday, but nonetheless, a lot of people that's American don't celebrate it. So
Watch what y'all say. I heard the police sirens.
But what's going on, man? We I don't know how long you've been up in the space or whatever. We've covered a number of topics. Candace Owens, she pretty much got her walking papers from the little group that was backing her. We've been talking about the migrant situation in Illinois, Chicago, the $9,000 they're giving them for housing over the course of 6 months. Of course, Sister Cake, she was saying that she's up in that area. She was saying that it was more money than that, even than that's being reported. And we're also talking about this bipartisan group of U.S. senators that's trying to introduce the HBCU Africa Partnership Act. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I don't know if did you hear me cover that topic any about the actual the Africa Partnership Act with the HBCUs? Do you think that's a good thing? That's something that can build some solidarity and also be beneficial for both parties?
Well, I mean, yeah, looking at it from a long-term perspective, yes, it's going to create the platform where, both parties will get opportunity to understand each other, where one is coming from, to get to understand the history, and bond from there. If you know for a fact, one of the things that the United States academic system, right, did wrong was to erase and not brought to the fore, right, the greatness, the capacity, and the success story of the slaves that were brought here, right? They erased all those parts and they replaced it with whatever that will let it look like. These folks got to forget about this part of them and just forward these things, focus on what they give them because they wanted them to be programmed in a certain way, of which, for a very large extent, it's been very successful, right? That's why you have folks that, despise their past. They don't even want to claim where their ancestors came from. They are erasing a lot of things, right? It's because of lack of knowledge. So, yeah, I think it's going to bridge that gap in the future. With regards to, these migrants thing, hey, I mean, who am I to, slavery was capitalism. They use human beings to do what a computer, was supposed to do back in the days, right? And they used it to build the United States. It's a capitalist country. Now, capitalism is facing stiffer competition from communism and socialism, right? Look at China, what it has become today. The United States want to catch up in terms of manufacturing, and therefore they need that human capital to do so. So what you see is not something that is going to go away today. It's just going to be here. Read the news, CNN, they're all talking about how the United States can catch up with China in terms of what? Manufacturing. And China has more human capital than the United States in terms of, labor, right, blah, blah, blah. So I believe that's the reason why they are bringing these folks. It ain't about what somebody will say that will change it. Until the United States achieve that goal and be that competitive with China in the manufacturing industry, more folks are going to come in. But I'm going to leave it on the other side. Let me correct this, propaganda that the last gentleman was talking about, that, Africa, we don't get along. We tribe, whatever. He said a lot of things. Listen, I am 40 years. I have never seen a tribal war in my country. I'll repeat that. I am 40 years. I've never seen a tribal war in my country, God. Okay? I would choose tribalism over racism anytime. Let me repeat that. I would choose tribalism over racism anytime. Because at least with tribalism, you find uncode folks a lot of times, and then you can get along. With racism, it's a whole different ballgame. So when you're making those distinctions,
do your research very well. Now, you say what? Africa don't get along. We have 51 nations. Do the math very well and see how many nations get along. 96% of them, right? So you use this little info that you see on CNN to draw a whole conclusion about a continent. I don't know where you get your facts from. When you watch World Cup, don't you see a United States of Africa? All African countries supporting whichever country that is moving forward. That is us. That is us. We marry from our tribe, so on and so forth. Okay, so if per what you're saying is the case, the continents would have been wiped out by now because we would have killed each other per what you're talking about. Now, let me address this HBCU thing, properly. It talks more about research, right? And the purpose is to empower governance, health, human capital, extra. This is how I see it. Like I said on your space the other time, the United States gave scholarship to Ghanaian students, 6,400 plus of them, to come to the United States, i.e. next year. So expect over 6,000 people, Ghanaians, coming here to study on scholarship worth $9 million. Scholarship, $9 million. What it basically means is that these folks have studied, they have met the criteria, and the United States need these individuals in the country. They need them in the country to help grow whatever economy that they have. You can't stop it.
Wait, did you say, wait, hold on, not to cut you off. You said they need the folks to grow the economy is what you said?
They do.
Okay, I didn't want to interrupt you. I just wanted to ask you. I'm not going to interrupt you, but go ahead, finish. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yes. If you're in the corporate world, I'm in the corporate world. Why is the United States right now picking people all over the place to come and work part-time? Because the system is overstretched, right? The system is overstretched as we speak. Check the Big Four. Check the oil industry. They are now bringing folks all over Africa and other part of the world to fill up the gaps because the human capital here is being overworked. What are you going to do?
That's a lot.
Okay, well, you can call it that's a lot, but I know for a fact, including doctors and everything, they are shipping more folks here.
Where your receipts at? Post them in the chat, bro.
Sir, okay, you are either part of it or you're not part of it. Go and Google it. It's there. Check. All right.
Wait, hold on. Let him finish up. Let him finish up. Go ahead.
Check the Big Four. All right, check the Big Four. When I talk of the Big Four, I'm talking of Deloitte & Touche, Ernst & Young, KPMG, and PricewaterhouseCoopers. That is one side. After, check the oil industry and check the health industry. How many doctors are being poached? Okay, so these are the realities on the ground. These are the realities on the ground. You talk of China, sir. Come here to California. Your whole university is flooded with Chinese. It's flooded with Chinese everywhere. From UCLA to Irvine, just name it. So if you're worried about what China is doing on the continent, be more concerned with them flooding your schools right now. And they're not just flooding your schools, they're sponsoring your schools. And that's the reason why they were able to get affirmative action bill, whatever it is, canceled. Check how much China give them, $2 billion, $5 billion a year. So they have major influence that you have to deal with. Africa is climbing up the best way they know how. But to say that we are killing each other, whatever, that's palpable false. You may not like us. I can respect that. But do not wish evil on people. It's not a blessing. Now yield the mic.
All right. Thank you, Double A. You said a whole lot in there. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know where to start at. I know you were saying when you were initially talking about the HBCUs and the partnerships, and you made a remark of something to the fact that basically you had people, and I guess you were talking about it had to be towards Black Americans, like basically we didn't know our past, or we didn't want to claim our past, or something along that line. Basically, I guess that we were trying to separate ourselves, I guess, from our culture or whatever, and we can learn that way now. And the article I read from the Journal of Black Higher Education, one of our curation partners, I see a lot of stuff that that'll be beneficial for Africa as well, but I don't see in terms when they send exchange programs. I didn't see anything saying that that they were going to be taking black students from America, because it was talking about bringing some from Africa, bringing them to the HBCUs and stuff like that. But I didn't see the same thing where it said, well, you know what, we're going to take some of these black students from the Americas, black Americans, and we're going to let them learn abroad in Nigeria, Ghana, and these other universities. Anything?
Exchange program has been in existence as long as I'm concerned. I got to know it from the year 2000. From the year 2000 till date. University of Cape Coast, University of Ghana, Legon, K, and UST, all of them, largely the United States and Ghana. And I've seen tons and tons or hundreds of United States students in Ghana on exchange programs. You can check on the internet. It's there.
You've seen tons of them? So you've seen hundreds of them?
Hundreds of them.
Okay. I'll take your word. I'll take your word. I'll take your word for it.
Yes, and I'm giving you a source. The current running mate for one of the political parties in Ghana, right, was more or less like the big dog in that industry. Okay, she's a professor, so she was responsible for the exchange program. She's called Professor Nana Mekodo. You can check on it and you will read everything about it. So I'm not just throwing words out. I'm stating fact. That the United States and Ghana has an exchange program that go beyond 20 years, 30 years ago. But I got to know in the year 2000. And it's been in existence to date and it's still ongoing. So please check. And this program would also mean that the federal government is going to pump more money into the HBCUs. So that is a good thing. Well,
the federal government should be pumping more money into them anyway. So I mean, they're severely underfunded. So that should have been happening for years. I mean, I think, like I say, they owe these HBCUs billions of dollars that they've just underfunded them. But let me go ahead. I'm going to move it to because I see we got a number of hands up. I'm gonna go ahead and get. Wait. No, Black Vanguard. You spoke quite a bit, so let me go keep it in order because we got a number of people up there. I think it's Rella, then I think you're next after Rella, so I'll get to you. But let me go ahead and get to Rella. You there, Rella?
Yeah, I was sitting here working, trying to get some things situated, and I heard a voice. It's interesting. A person that lives in Calabasas has impartial view on world views, and then tries to claim them to be facts. It's one thing to, I think, have your own perspective and then turn around and try to shove it down people's throats as factual information. I think that's the one thing that we're dealing with now when it comes to even our historical record as American descendants in the conversation around immigration, politics, and our economic divide. What I know for sure is that there was a full discussion in regards to some things that are happening in Ghana in regards to the HBCU, bi-coastal, I guess, project, if you will, that a few people who are Pan-Africans who actually went out to have a summit with, I think, a few leaders. I wish I was trying to get Amara and Professor in here to speak on it. But from what we gathered last night was this push of what they're trying to do is they're trying to find a way to, again, blend the all black term, and instead of saying black, everyone is African, and they're pushing for a reparations kind of review by way of utilizing the HBCUs. The problem now that we're seeing is that they want everybody to be labeled African, and you see people like Apathia run because someone who moved to Calabasas and married a white woman cannot speak on what he thinks is happening in Africa because he doesn't know the everyday thing that is going on in Africa because he lives in America, in California. And again, it's one of those things where you have these type of people, and like I said, they will push the narrative that what they say is golden just because they don't want to have the conversation about the impact of immigration in America, because they're immigrants and they don't want to see themselves as part of a growing issue. And they don't want to have an honest conversation. They want to actually have a dictatorship conversation where they are the ones controlling the narrative. They control the information that you receive. And then they tell you, like he did, well, hold on, sir. You need to go Google it. But then if you're the one saying it, why can't you provide the information? Because you're actually trying to introduce information into a space that is about news and factual information. So what I did was I went and I Googled wars, of the forever wars that Africa is always having. Oxford, Cambridge, Pennsylvania. There have been a number of universities that are still studying a lot of the wars that are happening in Africa all over the continent. And then there's also Al Jazeera, which is an international platform, a journalist platform and news platform that is focuses on, I think, world news. And they also did an article of forever wars. I think I saw other people also put information down in the chat on the tribalism that happens in Africa because there's such a distinction. I remember, Newstoter, you had a woman from South Africa who came up and was talking about, the issues with Nigerians that, South Africans are having, and how Nigerians are, a large population, and they are trying to dominate other groups or other tribes, other countries. So again, when you hear someone talk about that there is no tribalism, he's never seen a war before, that was, to me, that everybody should have been like, okay, well, I'm going to take what he's saying with a grain of salt, because there was no base of what he was saying at all. And it's not true. Even Twitter, with the videos that have been floating around Twitter of, people eating other people and, committing genocide in different parts of countries in Africa. I mean, videos, they got phones and videos, and they're putting all of their business all on social media. So we know that that's definitely not true, what he said. So I want to answer the room, hopefully after I went on a long rant about that. Candace Owens, she made her bed, and she's going to face the consequences of her actions. This is what happens when you have first, second generations who believe that all they have to do is lay in a bed with someone of another group, and they somehow wholly accept it and will be protected. And it doesn't end well. So I'm not. I'm careful with my tongue, but I am going to say the consequences follow every action. Even with whatever I'm saying, there's going to be consequences, and I understand that. HBCUs and the Africa Act, it will be a devastating thing if there is a bi-coastal, I think, agreement that is a Pan-Africanist view. And the benefit is American descendants are outnumbered by other groups of people once again, just so that they can come into the country and want to claim that we are all African. This is the reason why delineation and the conversation around naming ourselves and claiming our names are important, all of them, historically. The migrants are a big problem. Now, the one thing that struck me from what he said was, the United States is preparing to try to compete with China. Well, the United States is the one that gave up the contracts during the industrialization era, when Black people were on the rise of work and creating jobs in big communities. They sent the manufacturing business and sold the contracts to China. Now that we are out competing, or they are out competing us in production, we are having to try to figure out what to do. I think Black had this, and we had a conversation about in the reindustrialization that America is going to have to do, and it's true. But we have enough people here. There's enough people who are homeless or people who do need jobs or losing jobs who are looking for work, where manufacturing could be something that we actually reinvigorate ourselves. We just have to be diligent in making sure we're buying products that are made in the U.S. if we can get the companies up and running. The problem is funding. The problem is getting government bids and grants to make sure that we can do that. That is our biggest issue. And I do believe that there is immigrants are in government and they're trying their best to make sure that we don't get the things that we need, including white Americans, which is why they are so dumb, that they do believe that all you need is everybody's a people of color and everyone is a minority, and they should give all of the goods and services and resources to the immigrants and a lot of migrants in here, and we should just kumbaya all together. These people are coming in here ready to go to war with the American people, and they're doing a good job, aren't they? I know most people see it. They're making sure you don't get hired anywhere if they're in management. They're making sure that you have no housing. If they are the managing company or the owners of real estate. And they're making sure that they get into positions of authority in government, state government. And so if we are not paying attention to those things, we are definitely, like Dr. Claude Anderson said, it's over. So I'm a fighter. I don't give up, but I'm a realist. When you look at information, giving $9,000 or $15,000 to migrants, and you can't even give $1 to Black Americans so that they can deal with housing. I understand what's happening, and it upsets me so much to even hear that at all. Talking to my sister, who's also dealing with the housing issues as well. Our government has committed such a heinous crime, and they need to be put on Front Street about it, and there needs to be consequences for it. That's all I got.
All right. Thank you, Rella. Okay. Definitely appreciate Rella coming up here tonight. Let me go ahead and get to he must
Hey, let me jump in there real quick. A pie is stunting. You don't know what you're talking about. Getting a jumbotron, you already know. Shout out to our sister Mouthy Megan. You already know she been broke this stuff down. Shout out to the Black Patriarch. They been broke this stuff down. Tell the gang, aka the Pan Africans, are in these HBCUs, making all Black American kids' lives a living hell. Stop, bro. You ain't got no receipts, son. But go ahead.
Yeah, let me get to the uncouth. Uncouth, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hold on for a second. Let me come back. Let me come back in the next round.
All right. Let me get to original.
Hey, hold on real quick too. I am money and all that. We got to fight, y'all all quiet down there, yo. Don't say that.
You got it, original.
Yeah, what I want to say that appeal guy, he's a liar now. He's already left the room. I think I don't see him in here.
Yeah, he left.
Now he's saying now I'm gonna when he come the next time he come in this room, I'm gonna remind him that there were Black people in America before the slave trade started. So he don't know what as Rella said, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So don't say that we are all, granted, we may have an origin of somewhat that may be connected to Africa, but we're not Africans. No. So there was some Africans that was brought over here, but we are not, that is not our culture. And then he talked about he'd never seen a tribal war. Well, hell, they got a tribal war going on in Sudan right now. So I don't know what he's talking about. See, they love to come these black immigrants
Got one going on in Niger and Ethiopia as well.
Exactly. And 42. And so they always think they can come to us and tell us what we should be doing instead of fixing the hellhole that they came from. Because there was an article, it was they did a survey of some Nigerians up in Canada. And they said that over 90% of those people interviewed for this survey said that they would never go back to Nigeria. So that's how bad it is over there. And they want to try, they still rocking with these broke Pan-Africans who, by the way, are still here in America. They haven't left yet. I'm waiting on these Pan-Africans to leave and go and do whatever it is they say they're going to do in Africa. But see, like the brother said, it was two sisters that was killed that was from Detroit. They had bought some land and built a house, and then some of the locals wanted the house. And they went to court and won, and then they killed them. So all this stuff about we don't know who. No, we know who we are. They don't know who they are, because I came across some information because they were trying to say we don't know our name. Well, I came across some information stating that the Africans didn't start using last names until they encountered the European. So again, see how he came up in here and he said what he wanted to say as if he is smarter than the rest of us, and then he ran just like an old punk.
Flag like a ton.
Oh, he done came back now. He's back up in now. So.
Oh, he's back. Apia, whatever your name is. I want you to know that there were black people in America before the slave trade was ever a thought. So we've been in this country. There's no sense. And then to say that we are denying who we are, I came across some information stating that Africans didn't start using last names until they encountered the European. So it's not us that need to go educate ourselves. It's you all who need to educate yourself as to who Black Americans are. Now, there was some Africans that were brought over here, and they blended in with us. But we've been in America for hundreds of thousands of years. So you need to go into corrections on that.
And he lied original about the
Yeah. Everybody, one person at a time. Let original go ahead, and then we're gonna go ahead and get to some of the other speakers. Real quick, let original go ahead, because I see we got a bunch of hands coming back up now. I see a pie, he wants to speak. The uncouth was actually supposed to speak as well too, but he said go ahead and pass him. So after original, let me go ahead and get to him. Anybody that wants to speak, just put your hands up as well too. We'll get to you. But go ahead, original.
And let me say this to Apia. There's a tribal war that's going on in Sudan right now. Hell, look at what's been going on in Ethiopia and Eritrea and all. I mean, there's wars all over Africa, and you're gonna say you haven't seen no tribal wars. You can't. I mean, you need to understand. We have access to the internet just like everyone else, and we see what goes on in Africa. And it's not pretty, because I don't have any plans of ever moving to Africa, but my home is right here. I live here. I was born and raised in America, and America is where I'm going to stay. I'm not going to a place whereby it's so unstable. If you buy a house, one of the locals try to steal it from you. No, that's not who we are. Now, you can come on and say whatever you want, but you need to study. I would suggest you go and get the book. The book is called The First American Were Africans. So I guess this guy's calling us Africans, but black folk within this country, hundreds of thousands of years. And there's another book, Unexpected Faces in Ancient America. And it tells you how that the people that were in this country were black folks. So, and I'm going to land on that, but you need to go study your own culture and your continent to look at the tribal beefs that are still going on now. And I'll land.
All right. Thank you, original. Let me go ahead and get to the uncouth Apia. I'm going to get to you in a little bit as well, too. We got some hands up. Go ahead. We're gonna give each person about 3 minutes to go ahead because we got a bunch of hands up and we're gonna be closing out soon. So go ahead, the uncouth.
Peace to the room. Peace, Newstoter. Great space as usual. I'm gonna be frank because y'all already know. You know, the people that know me already know. I give these tethers not one lick. It's always on their goddamn neck. For somebody to come to our country and have the audacity to speak with these undertones of discontent and projecting ignorance, it's always interesting that their talking points are we need to educate ourselves when we are the most learned. We're the most learned melanated beings on this planet. Remember, you guys come to our schools. You guys come to our institutions. So you know, Apaya, he's really the troll because you know he doesn't go in his own spaces, and then he has the audacity to sit up here and say, "There's no tribal infighting." Well, you know, I could beg to differ because I know all of Nigeria, you got the Chinese in there that's dropping babies left and right and going completely back to the China mainland. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the country that you fled, that you speak so highly of, but you don't live there. And on top of that, you live in Calabasas, wherever the hell you live at in California. That's bro. Listen, these Nigerians, these Africans, and some of these Caribbeans. They come to this country and they have this disdain. It's an innate disdain for the chosen people. We're the chosen people. We are the chosen. It's within us. It's in our DNA. We're the brightest. We're the most ingenious. We're the most talented, physically, artistically. I don't need to say all the inventions that we did. Thousands and thousands and thousands. These folks just catching up. They trying to catch up, and they come here to try to downplay the Negro experience. So at the end of the day, this is a troll. This is what he does. He comes into our spaces because he don't go in his space. He doesn't go in his spaces. He's just like he projects these values of I mean they're talking points that really was like maybe in the late 80s was, you know, rational when the whole, you know, going back to Africa and Pan-African movement was really at its the early 90s. But listen, bro, Black Americans, we're delineated. We're not really messing with y'all because it's a one-way street. This whole Pan-African mindset, this concept is it's an abusive relationship, and I believe that Americans have been getting, you know, they've been getting the shit hand in the shitty hand of that relationship.
Try not to curse.
My bad. Excuse me. I apologize. We get the worst of this relationship. It's a one-sided relationship, and there's nothing. He talked about some the exchange programs. Listen, when Black Americans go over there to vacation, they get robbed. Let alone the ones that try to go over there to live, they get robbed. Ain't nobody messing with y'all like that. Ain't nobody messing with y'all like that to say that there's tons of blacks that are going over there and exchange. I'll be honest with you, bro. You got more blacks that's going to Europe or going to Asia than they choosing to go to Africa. So let's just keep that a mean. Like nobody, like for real. Like let's just keep it a mean. Like you came over here on an H-1B1 visa. You feel what I'm saying? And don't get me started on the perks of that visa, bro. If you in tech or you're non agriculture immigrant, you can get it. You feel what I'm saying? You had sponsorships through your employer. Bro, come on, man. We already know the jig, and it's really up. So when you come in these spaces, bro, first off, you know, this is Newstoter space, so he's going to give you the grace. But, you know, you come in these other spaces and get ran down, bro, because we already know you. We already know what you want, bro. You want decision. And you really try to kick that superior African BS, and it ain't going nowhere. If you're so good and you this, that, and the third, why you didn't go back? Why you didn't take your American education and go back to your homeland to build that up? You came to one that's already been built 400 plus years in the making by the best of the best. So I'm pull my chair with that. Thanks again for the opportunity to speak. So.
No problem. Peace. Appreciate you coming up here. Let me go ahead and get to Leroy. Leroy, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, I just wanted to tell Sister Rella that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Leroy. I was expecting a dude, but okay.
I I wanted to tell Sister Rella that I hear the passion and like the sadness in her voice every time like I listen to her talk. I just get moved and like it's crazy. Like it's sad, but it's like this type of stuff should encourage us more. So I just wanted to shout out to her.
No problem. I'm thinking, I see Leroy. I'm thinking big husky Negro about to come up on the microphone and right. We hear this little sweet voice. I'm like, okay, Leroy. All right. I don't know many. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know many Leroys under the age of like 55. I'm gonna be honest. I'm thinking, okay, well, Leroy about to come in here. Leroy probably went to school with one of my uncles back in the day and used to smoke them white goods and whatnot. Oh, okay. I guess you learn something new every day. Let me go ahead and get to Jess Cakes. Jess Cakes, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Oh man. Newstoter, your room got so musty I had to hop in the shower. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? Jumbo smell. Is that it smells familiar. I smelled it when I go in the Uber sometimes. Sometimes when I get my DoorDash orders. I was like, oh my God, what is that smell? At any rate, I'm just real quick. I get tired of the one way cup feelings. It's never reciprocity, right? These people are so smart, so intelligent. Oh, you people, you don't know your culture and stuff like that. They always want to wag their fingers at us, right? But here it is, like we all stated. They always running. They always fighting. That's the only thing they know how to do is fight each other. And when they get to America, get a white woman, okay? Or a non-black woman. Shout out to that guy that got poked up at his white OnlyFans girlfriend, okay? Shout out to him. At any rate, what was that?
I said, oh, damn.
All right, yeah, shout out to him. Smoking on that pack right there. Smoking on that pack. When I tell you, I had to throw a little bleach in this water because I'm like, that. How did Newstoter's room get so damn musty? I started seeing flies and everything. I'm like, jeez. I had to ask my old man. I say, hey, did you order some food or something? I just didn't know where the smell was coming from.
No black man, Dominican.
Oh, that part, yeah. But on a serious note, though, as far as the what are you talking about? The exchange program and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Black Americans have always been giving back to Africa. Look, Oprah, back in the day, my family used to stay donating to pro-African causes and stuff like that. When he came out his dishonest mouth, because I'm gonna keep it cute for your channel, okay? When he came out his little bland mouth and sat there and say that he ain't no tribalism, that's how you know he was disingenuous. They always want to put themselves on a pedestal and stuff like that. Y'all, we just seen a video a few months ago where a group of men stripped the woman down. This happened in Nigeria. Stripped the woman down to nothing and beat her. Okay? So stop it. It's not just confined to one country. It's many countries that's into it. That's why African people wound up all over the world. Here it is. We was at the greatest strength because we had Africa was the country of riches and everything else. And what do y'all do? Sell your own people for trinkets. And the killer part is, look at you steal. What have you gained? Nothing. BS bragging rights. You still can't sustain yourself. First you beg the white man to take you over. Now you begging the Chinese man to take you over. And now you run into other countries and stuff like that. Everybody hate to see you come out. Let me get it off. Everybody hate to see y'all coming. During COVID, when I seen them little 4-foot Chinese people kicking off of y'all butt with their sandals on, and the only thing you can say is, oh, please, Lord. Yeah. Everybody, people can't stand to see you coming. Y'all name is dirt all globally. Ain't nobody hating on y'all. Y'all hate y'all so much. How could anybody like y'all? Seriously. In the Ukraine, y'all sitting there getting treated that them little old white ladies and stuff like that. Y'all, and then he got the nerve to. We was on one accord.
Let's just case, sweetie. Don't get too on a personal side right there. I know you're going in or whatever, but go ahead and try to keep it more like on the HBCU related type topics as well too.
HBCU, right? Y'all, I'm just leaving right here. Y'all always take it. That's all y'all do. That's why they call what y'all got going on in Africa the brain drain. Because all y'all quote unquote talent is leaving and going everywhere but there. You can find an African imitating a Black American all over the world. But y'all so such and much. And I'll leave it there. I'm so tired of them. I'm tired of them. They funky, musty. You know, okay? Let me get.
Don't turn it into like just a personal like. Now it's one thing, and it's one thing if you have a disagreement and you have a total, you have a total difference of opinion and stuff. But let's try to keep it, y'all. Let's try to keep it somewhat classy. Let's go ahead and have these discussions where we can actually talk. We can disagree with people, but we don't have to take it there unless somebody's insulting, Black American culture, whatever. And I know some people may felt that maybe his remarks were an insult to a certain degree, but let's not take it to that level, y'all. Let's just try to go ahead and stay on scholarship and stay on the actual, the actual topics as much as possible without it just turning into just a complete brawl up in here, y'all. Let's just try to go ahead and keep it. Let's try to keep the focus on the actual conversation as well too. And I know everybody's gonna say, well, that's kind of difficult when they especially when they made the remark about a certain remark I know he made about pretty much us with our history and knowing this and that or whatever, the past or whatever. So I can get that. I know Just Cake, she's pretty passionate or whatever, but let's not get it to that point where everybody, just let's try to keep a level head as much as possible. So that makes the actual conversation, stronger. Let me go ahead and get to heavily let's just say heavily Joe Biden hate Black people. Let me get to heavily. Heavily, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes. Well, I'm not even going to say what I wanted to say to Dusty on this channel, so I'm not even going to say nothing because what I was getting ready to say, you wouldn't like it. So yeah, let Dusty go.
Okay. You don't have anything about the topics, any other topics, Candace Owens or migrants, anything you want to speak on? Or?
No, because what I was getting ready to do was tell a fire he needs to go take a bath. I know you don't.
The sisters, they going in tonight. They're certainly going in.
Tonight. They real quiet tonight. They could be the main ones up there. They going in. I'm just trying to, I was just trying to go ahead and just, hit up on the actual topics or whatever. But like I said, I know in the spaces sometimes folks get triggered and they like, hey, they start going in. Apaya, I'm gonna go ahead and let you no, actually it's Rella. Rella, did you want to speak? Because you was actually next.
I can go after him. That's fine.
Apaya, go ahead and unmute your microphone.
Getting beat up by the women's tonight. Oh man, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, don't worry about it. I'll get the civil. All right, I'm a civil rights person, so I'll go on that part. Now, whatever that I state, right? What I did was that, for example, with regards to the HBCU, I researched to gather more information before I spoke on the topic, and I never did it from the topic. Okay. Now I made a statement. I said, "In my emphasis on in my country, I am from Ghana, and I have never seen a word. That's what. I didn't speak any other language than the basic English King's language. Let me put that on the side. Okay. Now, a gentleman made a statement and said it was the Europeans that came and taught us how to use our last names. Sir, if you don't know much about the African culture, heritage, the lineage, the clan,
respectfully. Don't go on that tangent. Okay? We are monarchical. We believe in kingdoms. Therefore, it should ring a bell to you. That's the reason why today we still practice our culture of old. We never changed. If we're having a conversation, Newstoter, I consider your space as a professional space, and therefore it is not supposed to be a platform where individuals would come and then get personal and do whatever. So any statement that I made was as a matter of fact. If I said that the exchange program has been going on, I got into the tertiary institution in the year 2000. So I got to know of it. And indeed, I played around it. Okay? So I spoke to the fact devoid of personality. So if you cannot speak to the fact, to either debunk it, support, then I don't think that you have to go on the route that you go on. But hey, that's what you're made of, right? I yield the mic from now.
All righty. Let me go ahead and get to Rella. Real quick. Let me go ahead and get to well, go ahead, because then I want to get to Rella and move it around real quick.
2 seconds now. Whatever people's views is up here, up here, that's their views. We Newstoter don't have no platform on that. You know what I'm saying? People come up here and speak freely. Now, that's why Newstoter corrected everyone. Stick to the topic. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna let nobody blatantly attack you. That's not nothing that's gonna ever happen up here, and it never will with anyone. You're a guest here, you know what I mean? But you also understand y'all be in other spaces, and y'all folks be going off on each other. So sometimes it land over here as well. So you know, you gotta let the ball where it land, as they say. But go ahead, though. Shout out to all.
So, and I know Arenza and Original and Leroy. First, I have to say thank you so much to Leroy. I think that was love. That was some ointment, and sometimes you could hear the ointment is needed. So I appreciated that. And shout out to Just Cakes and Heavenly and everybody. I think I've had a conversation with you one time, and that was enough for me. It is more than interesting to hear you walk back your statements, because the room is recorded, and you were trying to be general at the same time trying to make it about Ghana, but you specifically said you've never seen tribal wars in Africa. You did not specifically say in Ghana, your home country. Home country didn't actually come out your mouth. And so it's funny when we have these conversations and then you still lie when there are tribal wars. The Ghanaian bishop in February was fighting about the wars between refugees fleeing neighboring countries. And I posted the neighboring country around Ghana. And somehow you don't know anything about that, but yet you're trying to tell us that, well, that's not a thing. And honestly, it's not something that we're all going to know all this information and we have to look up and know the answers to, because the question really was about the connection between the HBCUs and what's going on right now with with Ghana, and the summit that happened. And really, you just kind of skipped over that and try to make it into a, well, if you don't like us, Jen, you just don't like us. I don't really think that's actually ever it, because you only hear about the arguments between the disdain now on social media and Twitter, since spaces have been going on and then people have been going back and forth on Twitter. But the disdain for how Black Americans are treated by people from different places that come to this country, even so much so where there are videos of people in front of other immigrants saying that Black Americans are lazy and, we don't want to work, we complain, and even having a position against reparations in this country. Like, that is not even your position to even take. If you are here doing something where you're doing something on your own and you just got here, a few years ago or however many years you've been here, but then in generations of families that have been here for eons and have never been repaired, you should never have a position on a person in their country on what they are allowed or they should do to demand their repair for themselves. You don't see Black Americans going to Ghana telling people in Ghana, and poverty is high in Ghana. And so you don't see Black Americans going over there telling them, no, you don't deserve to fight for reparations from the British Crown or from the colonization that happened with the Portuguese. But somehow you all have this innate green light to be so disrespectful and do the same thing and do that thing to us here, even on social media. But yet you want to be respected in a scholarly way. No. I think all the disrespect is warranted because I've heard you speak before, and I might not have to cuss you out right now, but at the end of the day, it is warranted because you came off very condescending, you were very disrespectful, and you were lying, untruths. And the one thing a liar can only do is take your wallet and take your money. That's it.
Okay. Rella, I'm going to go ahead and have you land that. We're going to go ahead. We got the last three speakers. We're going to end up closing this space out in a second because it's actually going a little bit longer than I intended it to shut it down around by 10. But I'm going to give everybody 2 minutes to speak, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to close it out for the night. Apaya, I'll give you 2 minutes. Everybody else, 2 minutes, and we're going to close it out. So go ahead, Apaya, and start speaking.
All right. Listen, I think that I made a statement where I said that, the academic system here, right, is not thorough with regards to the slaves that were here, their greatness, so on and so forth. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a link. Okay, I'm actually driving when I park. I'm going to send you a link from Reuters, and I want you to read it for yourself. And all the facts will be there, and how the Black scholars here are trying to correct them by connecting with the continents to find a better way so that people can appreciate both angles. Okay, it's better to deal with facts than just talk anyhow. And also, I made a statement where I said, in my country, I stand on it. This thing is recorded. I bet you called me a liar. I'll pardon you. I'm not going to use those words on you. Use a letter, respectfully. When you pull it out, and this is not what I said, you can say whatever that you want about me. But if it comes out that I made a statement that in my country, emphasis on in my country, then you, the person that is calling me a liar, I'll leave you to the ancestors to deal with you. Because what I see is people can stick with the topic. If the discussion is above your head, fall back and let those with the knowledge deal with it. Bringing other platform issue on this conversation is immaterial. It is immaterial. Okay, whatever somebody said or I may have said, if you have an issue, address it on that platform. Why do you want to bring it here? And all the comments that you made about, okay, whether somebody is neat, clean, whatever, that is up to you. As long as it makes you feel good, go ahead and do it. All right?
Okay.
I'm not going to engage any back and forth.
Let me go ahead because I got to go ahead and move on. So thank you. Let me go ahead and get to Jess Cakes. Jess Cakes, go ahead and unmute your mic. 2 minutes too.
Okay. So there you go, condescending. That's why you getting ate up, sir. And I told y'all he was driving for Uber, okay? But at any rate, I wonder if he was driving past my house. I might have to hop in the shower again because it's still a little monkey out there.
I can tell you for a fact.
Okay, one person at a time. One person at a time.
Hey, Musty Man, get back on your mic.
Be very respectful, okay? Even if I'm doing.
Okay, I'm gonna start dropping speakers down as they speak as well too. like I say, let's go ahead because we're getting ready to close this out. Let's go ahead and say what we got to say so we can get to the next speaker because we're going to be closing this out. Let's stay on topic as well, too. But go ahead, Just Cakes. You there, Just Cakes? Because I know the thing kind of slow with the pause. You there? You can go ahead and speak. Okay.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Okay. All right. I just want to say, shout out to the Native Black American. I love you guys so much. Always a great space when we get together, and always great space when we could barbecue these musty tethers. Y'all have a wonderful week and be blessed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Just Case. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic. 2 minutes to Original. Yeah, real quick.
Right. Just real quick. I would. It may not be tonight, but on another, if you come in again, Apia, I need you to name me the last names of some of the pharaohs who ruled Kemet. Since y'all got all this great culture and history, but I need you to name me I need you to name their last name, and I'm gonna land with that.
All right, thank you, Original. Stephanie, go ahead and unmute your mic. Stephanie, you real low. I can barely hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you better.
Okay, he was taking cheap shots at me. I already know he was because I've been jumping down this cliff.
Yeah, you low, Stephanie. You got a headset on?
No, I'm speaking. I got you on speaker. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it just seemed like you're off at a distance. But go ahead.
Okay, he's taking cheap shots at me. I know he is his lopsided headed ass, but that's another story for another day. First and foremost, his country is just got a $3 billion bailout, and they've already declared bankruptcy. Why don't he focus on that? That should be his issue. Focus on the issues in your country and stop disrespecting the people who was born and raised here. He constantly does this, and it's really annoying. This is why he gets cursed out all the time, and he's too silly to understand why, but he thinks that we have a deep-rooted hatred. It's not a deep-rooted hatred, it's a deep-rooted hatred for disrespect. We're tired of being disrespected. If you want respect, you gotta earn it. Other than that, shut up. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we hate anybody from the continent or from the islands or from Latin America or wherever. We just don't like to be disrespected. And when you disrespect us, expect to be disrespected back. Focus on your issues and leave ours alone. That's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. As always, appreciate you. RZA, go ahead and say something real quick, 2 minutes, and then we're gonna be up out of here.
All right, thanks everybody. Thank you for also listening to the space. Please follow me here on Twitter, also known as X. Every time some information comes across my way, I'm going to retweet it. Everything that you guys have been discussing on this space is in the Jumbotron. So you'll forever be able to have access to what we talked about. That's pretty much it. I'm grateful to be here. We covered some very strong points. I hope that Apia has learned his lesson, but if he didn't, it's going to be other days where he's going to run up against these others, and he's not going to like the response. But anyway, thank you. Shout out to you, DJ, and I'll just land my plane there. Thanks, Newstoter. Glad to be here.
All right. Go ahead, DJ.
Hey, so people, you lying in the story, you mad, you know what I'm saying? So we have direct information, again, from our Black American kids that are going to these HBCUs, excuse me, that y'all are, that our tribes are bickering. So don't say that whoever is doing what for trying to get HBCUs in Africa to connect, that junk don't mean nothing. It's the fact that, y'all tribalistic in the story. We don't play that game. And we thinking we all one because we black. Got my fingers up. But y'all don't say that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say y'all country a certain name, origin or whatever. So again, don't forget, Tyler, we got information coming from our folks that work for social services and post office and all these other government facilities. These migrants been getting this money, bro. You feel what I'm saying? We done did hell spaces on that all the way back last year. Way back top of last year. You know what I mean? Let's go. But go ahead, and Candace Owens, you got fired on your day off, Craig, but Newstoter out. come over to the Moco space to be more codified.
Yeah, check out Brother Moku. He has a space starting. Will it start around 11 or so tonight? So definitely check Brother Moku out, guys. Appreciate everybody for coming into space tonight. I know the topics. We had some different topics we touched up on as well too. But the HBCU and the migrants seem to be everything. I know nobody really cares much about Candace Owens. They feel like she's eating a big slice of crow right now at this point in time. But once again, thank everybody. We'll be back tomorrow night. Check us out at 8 p.m. if you're on Twitter, 8:10 if you're on YouTube, guys. Be safe. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Peace.
Peace.